Let me see who's back there. Is this Sam?
How you doing?
What's going on, man? How are you, man? Samuel Lee, man. What's good?
Yeah, almost missed you. It's 4 a.m. where I'm at. Well, actually 4:13. So I
Wow.
was literally in a knocked out sleep until my alarm got me up. So I just got up and threw on my sweatsuit and came out here. The crazy thing is some light out here, so I'm good to go.
What is up, man? You just missed your boy, man, Victor, man.
Yeah, how do you do?
He's amazing, man. I enjoyed the interview. It was more of a conversation. So I tell people all the time when you come to the hangout spot, man, yeah, it's gonna be it's going, I'm gonna ask questions. It's gonna be like an interview, but it's gonna be more of like a casual conversation. We're just gonna be kicking it. And man, I loved him, man. I love his confidence, man. He's smart, he's articulate, he's motivated, he's focused. I think you got a good one there, man. I'm here with Samuel Lee, man, his manager, man.
Yeah, I tell you one thing about it. You and I both know, man. It's challenges when it comes in this game when it comes to managing guys, and he is just definitely one of the good things that comes with management. You never know what you're signing up for. You never know what you're signing up for in this business. But when you have a fighter that's both feet in his personal life, in the ring and out the ring, it just makes things so much easier, man. It does.
And if you'd had told me that before our conversation, I was like, okay. But now after the conversation, I see where I see why you say that. I really do.
Yeah, one of the things I like to use with Victor, when I'm describing Victor, I always say quality over quantity. I only have four fighters that I have signed, and not critiquing anyone or anything like that, but I've just never been a guy that needs like about 30 guys signed or anything like that. I figure if you have a small number and you got a good quality, and everyone's on the same page, and from the career standpoint, and as far as where you want to move, the direction you're going, shoot, sometime a couple is all you need. But not,
Sometimes one. Sometimes one if that one is special, right, Sam?
exactly. So I'm glad, sorry, I missed him. We got the little time difference over here. I was off by an hour, but I'm glad he was able to go on and represent himself well, like I thought he would. Like I knew he would. So
No, he's sensational, man. I'm definitely let's connect after this, after the show tomorrow. That way I can send you the link. You can check it out. I'll probably cut up some shorts as well, man. We got some good content, man. I love a lot of his answers, so I want to get that out there. I want to make sure that people are seeing him. I mean, he deserves to be seen. He comes from boxing, his boxing bloodline, boxing royalty, being a Guerrero, and you would never tell that he did.
mhm.
It's kind of weird.
Great, man. Yeah, well, look, I appreciate that. That's one of the reasons we made a pivot at the last moment to have him pretty much have his future fights for the rest of the year in California. We had some other things planned, but we relooked it, sat down, and I said, you know what, man, let's just go ahead and finish out the year in California, and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, he did mention that he got something lined up in August and hopefully in December as
Yes,
well.
yes.
So that's what's up. If you guys are all tuning in the chat, we got my man Samuel Lee from SJL Fighter Management. He is the manager of the fighter that we just had on, Victor Slick Rick Guerrero. Slick Vic, I'm sorry, Slick Vic Guerrero. We spoke about Slick Vic, the nickname as well. Uh, but now that's dope. That would be what, 5 fights if all works out well. 5 fights in 1 year, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I say if you're gonna if you're going to do this job, go ahead and be both feet in. So, you know, so that's a good number for a year. I think so, so, um, and, we're going to give him some time off in the holidays because his family life is very important to him, which is great, which I love, which is it's important to me, and it's just I was able to finally meet him and his family in person. Uh, Funny story though, I'll keep it quick. I'm at the I'm at a fight in San Antonio with another fighter that I manage, and I ran into his family, ran into his uncle and his grandfather. And we was just talking it up, chopping it up in the lobby. Fast forward a month and a half, I would have never known that I was actually going to run into and get the chance to sign their nephew. And it was just funny. We were just talking in the lobby and just, hey man, hey, how's your health and how's everything? You're looking great and whatever. And then, when I finally met him, I was like, I just had a conversation with with your grandfather in the
Wow.
lobby at a hotel. Never would have known, you know, uh, that I would have, ran into to put us where we are now.
Wow, that's great, man. That's a great story. And you've been with him now, what, 3 fights?
Yeah, let me see. We did Columbia, did a Columbia. He was coming off of Columbia. Did one there. We just did a Virginia. I had him slotted for Virginia again, and then we just made that career pivot to California. And when I came on, I explained to him. I said, "Look, man, things change all the time, and boxing is very, you can plan to do one thing in boxing, but it doesn't go like that a lot, So you got to be able,
Bingo.
if you could pivot, if you're able to pivot, and you'll know, I say that all the time, be able to pivot as a team, as a manager, as a fighter. I just think you'll be a little bit more successful. So we were able to pivot and give us California for the rest of the year. With some help of some solid members that I got on my team. I don't have a humongous team, but I just have very accountable, reliable people on my team. So it's a small team, so that's all I need. Kind of like the fighters, just reliable, hard nose that nose to the ground. I mean, grind type people and very accountable people. So we got we're gonna put our best foot forward, and hopefully he'll have us back. At the end of our contract, hopefully he'll have us back. So we don't like to talk about what we do. We just kind of show what we do. You know.
Yeah. No, that's great, man. That's a great outlook, and it definitely will work, man, when you surround yourself with really, really good people like you said you have. So that's dope, man. That's dope. But aside from the last name, man, what made you believe in his potential early on?
Good question. All right, so trusted contact, business contact, part of my team gave me a call and told me to log on. We watched the fight on YouTube. The first thing I saw, I said, "Damn, man, what weight does he fight at?" He was like, "That's 154." I was like, "You're kidding me?" He was like, "Yeah, that's 154." I was like, "Dude, he's taller than me." Now I'm 6'2", and I think Vic is 6'3". And I sat up there, watched a couple clips and everything, went back. First thing I pulled up was his box rec just to see, was he active or where he was. And but having a conversation with him, and the conversation we had is, him wanting to be, his goal is to be well-rounded as a fighter. Even though he is a Guerrero, he wants to be a well-rounded, complete
We
fighter.
spoke about that a little bit. Again, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
spoil it. I want you to watch the
I,
interview.
I, I am. Yeah, yeah, man. I'm mad. I'm an hour off, but yeah. So,
You good. You good.
but yeah, man. So, and our negotiation took a while, and but just seeing his attributes, but really his mental. I'm a big mental guy. I always have to tune in to see what your mental is when it comes to fighting and just the way you live your life. And I usually tap into the mental before I even get to the attributes and the physical part. And that was it. That was it. And I just pretty much said, I'll go ahead and make a strong push, put my best foot forward.
Yeah, no, salute. I think that was a good decision, man. Has there been what's been the biggest challenges and maybe one of the proudest moments so far working with them?
Wow. Um, seeing him in person, adversity. Our last fight, I came, post fight, I looked him dead in the eye. I said, one of the things that I'm most just was his. I saw him go through some adversity, and you're only as good as what you come up against, right? So I'm one of those people when everything's going all great and everything's, we all look like we're on top of the world, right? But you're measured when how good you can adjust to that adversity. And I saw something in him. I saw something in his face. I saw uh, uh, something in his demeanor, how he made some adjustments and bit down on his mouthpiece just to show who he was. That was probably the proudest, and that was my first time seeing him in person. I've been managing for a little bit, from afar, but I had to get on a plane, which is very, very normal for me to go represent my fighters. So I don't represent from afar, pretty much. I stay on a plane to go see these guys, and just to see them in person, go through adversity. That was the proudest moment right there.
I love it, man. Great answer. Great answer. And I did a little research and you a couple of your fighters are overseas, right? International fighters.
Well, that's part of the reason why I live overseas. Of course, I still have my American fight, but right now, I that is the goal, to establish my footprint out here. Not leaving anyone behind or anything like that stateside. But that's why if you don't know, Germany is finally lit up again. They finally returned to the days of the Klitschko. What they're doing out here. Denmark has started a pretty good professional boxing program. So the goal is to be global. They say about logistics. Logistics, is logistics good in the U.S. or is logistics good globally? Well, that I'm into global, global logistics. So I want to put my footprint everywhere with managing some good talent. And sometimes, some guys, you just never know where you find them. So yeah, I got a guy, Chi Hong. He was also on the card. I brought him from Taiwan, and brought him from Taiwan. He was on that card, and I have another gentleman out of Uganda. Excellent record. I like him because he'll fight anyone. So I got a couple other guys I'm working with out here in Germany, but right now, Victor and Chang Hong really got me busy. But yeah, it's about the global thing. Find talent anywhere.
Nah, I love it, man. Salute to you, man. Salute. We got somebody in the chat asking. This is Samuel Lee, man. He is Victor Guerrero, the fighter that we just had on a little while ago. This is his manager. And he is the guy at SJL Fighter Management, man. How long have you been a boxing manager, Sam?
Well, I started 7 years ago. Took a break before that. I tried to get it off in California, but I was in the military at the time, so I had to. I couldn't be both feet in, but I'll say consistent. I've been consistently for 7 years, but before probably about the 11, 12 year mark. But I didn't really gain traction until I got to Virginia. And once I got to Virginia, I was able to just kind of keep, stay consistent. Started off with a gentleman named William Townsell, William Turbo Townsell, and from there was able just to start moving.
Okay. All right. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I did read that you're a veteran, man. Salute, man. Thank you for your service, man.
Appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
And you sound like you sound militant. Very
Yeah.
articulate, militant. I'm sure that's probably your approach, right? While you manage
Y
fighters, while you're building a team.
y yeah, yeah. I'm kinda hard on some things. I am, but it's a good it's a good thing. I am hard on a couple things, but, it's a good thing, man.
No, that's amazing, man. That's amazing, man. Wow. I mean, and not being a manager, especially in the world of boxing, man. And this is what I love about doing what I've been doing for the last couple of years. I started this as a hobby, and
Mhm.
it's taken off, and I enjoy it because it's given me not only the opportunity to meet fighters, trainers, managers, but to literally live and see the business side of boxing, which you don't see as a fan. The
That's right.
business side of boxing is crazy. It's out of
Yes.
control. So
Yes.
to be able to navigate in that aspect is pretty impressive, man, but I mean, there's gotta be a lot of headaches and heartaches, man.
It is. The first thing you gotta do is turn your, fan radar your fan radar off. Can't be a fan when you're doing what you're doing. Not you got I mean, you can enjoy your work, but if you're doing this as a 100%, complete fan, no, that's kinda gonna lead you down a road where you're gonna make some emotional decisions. So, that was the first thing. But, I was born in Atlantic City to where I was surrounded by boxing before I moved to California. And I saw a lot of bad, bad decisions growing up in Atlantic City.
Mm,
And then even when I got to San Diego, same thing. I started boxing out of that Terry Norris gym, the one they had in downtown San Diego. And I remember I always kept my eyes open. I was always more attracted to the business side as opposed to getting in there in the ring. I used, love to fight and all. I didn't turn professional or anything like that. Just did amateur. But I was always intrigued by the business side. So I always knew this is where it was going to end up. So I seriously quit my job. I was working a job out in DC and quit my job and just went both feet in. And but I'm telling you, you got to show your fangs in this business. We already know that you have to keep your eyes open, show your fangs. Don't be afraid to walk away. And also don't be afraid to stand on what you believe when it comes to, your fighter. And you gotta be comfortable in any room. I think that's the biggest advice I try to give people, man. You got to be comfortable in any room. So it is a challenge. It does keep me engaged. I'm glad I got the time to do it, full time.
wow. I mean, I've spoken to other boxing managers as well, and I like to be able to get that perspective because everybody has obviously their own unique perspective on how they operate in this crazy world of boxing, man. Have you ever met Adrian Clark, man? He's
I
a
have
friend of the
not.
show. I've had him on here as well. He's also a boxing manager. He manages Brian Norman Jr.,
Yes,
a bunch of
yes.
other fighters. Man, I'd love for you guys to be able to connect one day, man. He's another good guy, man. Who
Oh man, I'm open, brother. Definitely.
yeah, that would be what you guys do. But how do you balance? I mean, this has got to be even tougher for you because of logistically where all your fighters are located. You got one here, one over there, one here, right? So to speak, right? How do you balance the needs of multiple fighters, especially at different stages in your career, right? Because you got Victor, who's who's young
Prospect.
and a prospect,
Yeah.
who's gonna need more attention, right?
Yeah.
He's a prospect. How do you balance that, like the needs of multiple fighters who may be at different stages in their careers?
Once again, solid team, solid, reliable team. I'm still seriously, I'm still adding on to my team. It's not gonna be like 30 people or anything like that. But right now, I'm at a good four people that I can rely on, seriously rely on. Those 3 a.m. type people. You get off the airport and you
That's
you, you
important,
want to be like, man, is this dude going to pick me up or what?
right?
Nah, then you
Right.
got that one person they're going to be there. So they help me, and it's funny. They're located all over the place, also. So most of everyone that I deal with is international. Even the ones that live in the states, they travel well. So just having that team, I couldn't do this by myself. It'd be crazy to try this. I actually was doing it by myself for a bit. and I got to tell you, it wore me out, man. It did. So having that solid team I got, that's how I'm able to move all over the place. So
That's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. And I guess since we're still on the Victor topic,
yes,
um, what's your vision for his career trajectory?
you know, next year. We would love for him to take a some step up fight. And when I say a step up fight, I don't know, man. I try to do stuff. I don't know. Let's just say make up something 1 out of 10. And right now, we're in the development stage with Victor, with his trainer, wonderful trainer, Sid. Man, Sid's my guy.
We
Damn,
spoke
Sid's my
about him.
guy. Man,
Spoke about him.
God, Sid is my guy. But they trying to establish not trying. They're establishing continuity between them two. I don't want to speak on their process too much, but next year I would love to see him. If we talk about a step up fight, like a guy that's like maybe 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, by sometime in the summer, and see where we're at, because um, you and I both know, if you're managing right, you gotta have that step up fight. So hopefully by the summer, because as you see, the goal is to keep him active. It's hard to give a guy a step up fight when he's not active, when he's only fighting once a year, which burns me up. This is part of the reason I got into this, but not, but by hoping next year, yeah, that step up fight by the summer, 7 out of 10 type guy. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
somebody that'll definitely figure out who you really are.
I like it. I
Yeah,
like it. Yeah, yeah. You got to watch that interview because some of that stuff he gives his opinion
yeah,
on. We're
yeah.
just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to spoil it. I want to make sure everyone.
Okay. I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad I didn't watch it yet. You got
Yeah,
you got to get it to me. I'm glad I didn't watch it yet, bro.
we'll connect after this. I will get it to you, man. Shout
All
out to
right.
my guy Lee, man, Lee Bates, man, who got us connected, man.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's my
Definitely.
guy.
Yeah. Eh, Look. Likewise. Likewise. 100% likewise.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. We got Samuel Lee, who is Victor Guerrero's manager from SJL Fighters Management. So tell me a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about your company. Like, where do you see SJL Fighter Management in the next 3 to 5 years? Any specific goals or that you have?
Yeah. You know, the the representation of having fighters globally, um, is just pretty much, it's that main goal, man. I'm just trying to, not trying, I speak it into existence. I will be one of the main guys, reliability that you could lean on as a manager, that could negotiate across regions. I want Victor, if we ever decided to bring Victor to Germany or to another country, um, that's open, and you're only as good as your representation. So where I see us in 3 to 5 years is that it don't matter where you're at. I mean, in certain areas I'll lean away from. I'm not going to say it on this. Some areas it's just not logical to deal with. But if we're in Canada or if we're in France, I want us to be able to have that opportunity to represent ourselves, even as an A side. I just put something together with one of my guys. Like I said, Chung Hong. He came to Virginia. Now he's off to the Philippines, but he's based in Taiwan. So, that's where I see us, where we're going to be, and just not be known in a small region of the DMV, just globally, man. Not everywhere, but enough where boxing has a solid foundation, and we can make something happen. That's where we're going to be.
Awesome, awesome. Me, I like to pick people's brains, man, pick people's minds. So don't
Yeah.
don't don't mind me. I do
Yeah.
have a question from one of the community members, Toledo Trees. He's from Ohio. He said, "Ask him how does he ask him does he scout at amateur events or does he walk into gyms to find hidden talent?"
Uh, you know what? I used to really hit the pavement a lot and go into gyms and stuff a lot. I don't anymore. I always say this, you have to evolve, especially as we get older, right? I always say the worst
Amen.
old guy is the old guy that doesn't evolve. It's like my pet peeve. So I'm getting on my soapbox here. So you know what I do, man? I've invested a lot of money, continuing to invest a lot of money into my social media. It's in the process as far as my website, etc. And I've been really capitalizing on communicating to the youth the way they talk, you know, because I know once I get in front of them, I could do that all day. That's no problem. Or
Right.
get in front of a camera, I could do that all day. But I right now I use that social media pretty tough. That is my approach because that's where, unfortunately, that's where they spend most of their time at. So,
Absolutely.
and we're just, we're just starting up. We're not there yet, but I'm okay with that. So my recruiting process is really not a heavy recruiting. I do go to a couple events, but I go pretty tough on that social media and stuff like that, and let
Okay.
them make the decision.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, what would you say as a manager is the biggest challenge that boxing managers face today? Would it be negotiating deals? Would it be working with promoters? Would it be securing opportunities for guys like Victor in a crowded market? All of the above?
Oh my gosh,
What
man, good
what's the
question.
biggest challenge?
It is. Well, first of all, I would say having to fight to trust the process. Um,
Mhm.
Look, man, seriously, trying to convince that fighter to trust the process when they got a lot of people in their ear. They Uncle Tony, they friend down the street,
Wow.
uh, their grandfather. I used to fight, and you can go on and on and on and on, right? So getting the fighter to trust the process, and then the other thing is, for me, yeah, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's a good answer, man. That's none
Yeah,
of the ones that I said, and I know all the other ones are challenging too,
they are. They are.
but
But
that's
that one, that's the foundation right there, brother.
like getting them to listen to
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Right. Tune
yeah,
everybody else out. Listen to me. Don't listen to him. I get what you're saying, and it makes total sense.
yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna tell you why we're doing this. And sometimes you can't explain, with boxing, there's so much stuff moving in the background. Man, you can't sit there and explain all that stuff. It'll take years. I always tell people, man, boxing is one of the things you can't YouTube it as far as management. You can't YouTube it. You can't go to school for it. You can't, it's only through experience, and you got to take your bumps. Lee has a saying, we were all green at one time. We were all green at one time.
Very
And you
true.
got to go through that green period, man. So that's it, getting the individual, getting the fighter, man, to go ahead and buy into the process, man.
I love that answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
I'm clipping that. We got to clip that. That got to go on the short, man. Salute. We got Sam Lee over here dropping gems at the Hangout Spot, baby. That's how we do, man. That's how we do. We got my guy Lonos Boxing, who's also a community member, a family member. You see, my community is family, man. They're not listeners, they're not viewers, they are family here at DHS, man, because they rock out every
Right
night
on.
with us, man. Appreciate y'all. He said, ask him what is, in his opinion, what is a lost art that's missing today in fighters?
Oof. Oh man, I say a lost art. Um, the time, as far as uh, the time without distraction. Remember back in the day, and I know we're in different times with support. and family and stuff like that. But you remember the old things, they would go away to camp, no distractions.
No
Oh,
distractions, right?
and yeah, and I'm probably a little old grouch on that, but the loss art, I've seen guys bounce back off a loss and eliminate their distractions, and they're a different, complete different fighter. And I think the lost art of guys really just cutting off distractions and going to camp and coming out of camp like it doesn't matter who show up in that ring. They'll be victorious because they just didn't have any distractions. So that's what I think that's the loss. So, and I'm not saying other guys don't still do it, but most guys got so much. They have media obligations, they got friends, they got all this stuff going on. And I'm a fan of if I see a kid that just went away somewhere and trained and just kept his head and disconnected from the world, man, he get in the ring. It's going to be a difficult night, no matter who he fights, if he has everything else in line.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I just got a couple more. I got a
Yeah,
couple
no
more. Let's
problem, man. No
like
problem
pick
at
your
all.
mind, man. That's what I'm talking about. This is great conversation, man. Great content too. Make sure you guys smash the like button, man, and show my man Sam some love in the chat, man. I know you guys are good questions, man. If you guys want to throw a couple of other questions out there, feel free. We got our Sam for a little while. We won't keep you that long because I know it's early over there. You know, you got to get your day started. So,
All right.
but one question I do want to ask is, what's if you could give one piece of advice to an aspiring manager, or maybe even a young fighter looking for representation, what would that be?
Uh, for a young manager, don't rush. Like really sit. I have a saying: if I'm rushing to just get you signed, then that might be a little red flag. This is a commitment. It's a commitment that you have to deliver. That both of you have to deliver on your agreed promise. So if you rushing to get in and those things are going to come out later when you hit year one, year two. That's advice that I like to go about is, yeah, don't rush to it. You really, I don't like to use the analogy of the girl, that you date, but it's like, you're getting married in a sense. You know what I mean? You got, you gotta look at everything, brother. You really do. So that's my thing. Don't rush. Take your time. At the end of the day, you have to be you. And then, as far as for fighters, understanding, first of all, understanding what you're agreeing to, understanding what you're agreeing to, and um, yeah, and being receptive, man. You got to be receptive. You got a manager. You can't come in and be like you know it all. So that is one of the things. Just be receptive and understanding what you're committing to. If it means you're going to take a step up fight to recoup some of those finances or to just figure out where you're at in about 2 years, you can't be playing with the 0 and 13s on year two. You know, you
Right.
got to understand, so just understanding what you're committing to. Everybody wants to rush to get signed, but it's a two-way street, man.
Right. No, that's a great answer. And let me tell you something. What you said about the first part of that hit home, man. Take your time, man. I went through I went through a divorce for
Yeah.
that reason, man. I didn't take my time. I rushed, man. I tell
Yeah.
people this all the time, man. You know,
Hmm.
it's a process, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint, man. So
Hmm.
that's a great answer. I love that answer, man. I got another question from Trees from Ohio. He said, asked, does he manage women fighters and what would he do different? What would be some different challenges managing a woman as opposed to a man?
Uh, honestly, I don't think is I don't think it would be any different as far as challenges for me. I'm actually actively in conversation with a female fighter now. I think right now is the best time to manage a female fighter. I mean, the best, especially if she's hard as nails. Let's look.
Couldn't
Right
agree
now,
more.
yeah. Oh
Couldn't
my
agree
gosh,
more, man.
man.
Women's boxing right now is on fire.
Yeah, it's hot.
You got to strike while the iron is hot, man.
Yep. So I am going to go back. I do recruit a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I did have a face-to-face meeting not too long ago with a young lady, but right now, female boxing is hot, and I think what I like about female boxing, you don't have to have that. Oh, you don't have to be undefeated, but if you can fight and you tough as nails, man, you're gonna make some noise. And that's what I like about the female game right now. So that's not a challenge. That's actually something that I look forward to, man. You could be 10-2 and still get on the big stage and make some noise, you know. As long as you can fight and you tough as nails, man, you'll get that call. So that's what so right now they hot right now. They hot.
So just Sam, so just so you know, we show the ladies love here at DHS at the Hangout
Yes.
Spot, man. We
Yes.
do a ladies' night. We haven't done one in a while though. That's my fault. We dropping the ball, but we used to get into doing ladies' night where I try to get a couple of female podcasters to join the panel with me, and then we get a couple of lady guests, whether it's a fighter, trainer. Like we've had numerous lady fighters that have come on the panel. We've interviewed. And I say it all the time, I give the ladies props because they're not afraid to unify. They're not afraid to put that all on the line. They're not afraid to go undisputed, to try to go undisputed. You know, they just want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I give
Exactly.
them a lot of credit. So that's good, man. No, that's definitely good. Good questions, man.
Yeah.
Good questions, man. But what has been the most rewarding part of managing fighters for you so far?
Seeing the being in the moment with the process, man. Just watching everything grow. Watching the fighter grow, watching the management company grow, the venues, all that, man. When you sit back, sometimes you're so much deep into it that you forget to just sit down and take a breath and say, oh man, this is, enjoying the moment, but that's been the best for me, just watching these fighters grow, watching these fighters win. I'm really big on the reaction and the support of their families. One thing I do, man, at every fight, I always greet or look at the family because that's their baby boy in there, or baby girl, and they like to see just to see the look on their face, man, to watch them go through that journey. It's that support system is a mug, man. You can conquer anything with that support system, bro. You really can. So that's been one of the greatest things, just to watch the way the family just reacts to the whole process.
Great answer. Absolutely great answer. Is there any one thing, like if you're having a meeting with a fighter that you're looking to sign, is there one thing that would kind of turn you off? Maybe something
Oh
that
yeah.
they say or something?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good question. I don't know if what they'll say, but if they're not stable out the ring, it's a big thing for me because it will affect you in the ring. And I'm not even talking about let's pull this away. I'm not even talking about whether you lose or win. If you're unstable and and got all these things going on outside of the ring, then you're going to miss dates. You're going to miss fights. You're going to miss weights. You're going to miss obligations. You're going to miss opportunities. So once, it's one of those things. Once I find out you got all these things going on all outside the ring and, you can't get it under the control, you know, that's my sticking moment, man. I wish you well with that.
Yeah, and I don't think fighters are good at hiding that, like showing you their
No.
alter ego. Like you'll kind of sense that
Oh
right
yeah.
from the beginning, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've been around fighters, so I know that
Yeah.
they're not.
Exactly.
Again, they're not good at having an alter ego. They usually are who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if if you're working on it, man, that's one thing. If you're
Right,
working on it and you're willing to make a change, be like, look, man, I'm about to get up out this city. I'm gonna move my training camp, or I'm gonna move my camp to this city. I have too many distractions. That's one thing.
right.
But if you're just gonna stay right in it and the same old, sooner or later, man, you're not gonna be reliable. You're gonna have a fight, and then you got some outside interference and stuff that's just gonna mess with your production. So you got to be able to pivot, man. You got to be able to make some changes, sacrifice for what you want to do. You'll hear me, man. You got to be both feet in. If you're not both feet in, this ain't that game to play. It really isn't. Can't
No,
play with this, not
because
both feet in.
because you can't play boxing. You can
That's
play
right.
other sports, but you cannot play boxing.
Yeah.
So, man, I feel you. This has been amazing, man.
Appreciate it, man.
We gotta kick it like, like I said, man, we definitely got to connect, man. I'd love to be able to get you back on here again, man. Any upcoming news, fights, announcements that you wanna
You
talk
know,
about or put out there for your team, for anything?
oh well, like I said, but we already know about Victor. He's gonna cap his. He got his two fights in California, and then I got my guy Chung Hung. That's going to the Philippines. I got a guy, Jeremy Collars, um, older guy, man. I love him to death, man. This
That was
dude
the
will
reason why
fight.
I asked you that question earlier
Yes,
between
yeah,
him and your prospect and then the older
yeah,
guy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
right.
my older guy, if you see, he stays quite busy, super busy, and he's 37 years old, former Marine. His time is now, as far as to make a payday. So he just fought. I mean, he's been pretty busy. Uh, he we're waiting on something for him. Hopefully, one of those standbys, like last moment, 2 weeks. 2 weeks to go before a fight. Last minute calls, conversations. He's actually actively in the gym, so he's always ready for that. And then we got a guy, my guy, original guy, William Turbo Townsend. We are just actively, we've been for years hunting a fight with Darius Fulcum. So we're going to propose that again. Unfortunately, William came up off a loss. He couldn't get, so we're going to get him back in, get him a win, and just campaign as hard as we can with him. And I think him and Fulcum would be an excellent fight, man. We've been trying to get that fight for 2 years. And so we're gonna get him in real quick. Hopefully next month, the month after, get him a quick win, and hopefully send it over. And they agree. I know Fulcum is coming off some uh, I don't know. His last performances were kind of probably not what Golden Boy probably wanted, but then I think he ended with a pretty good win against a guy that avoided us. A guy that avoided us like the plague, and Fulcum was able to get him out of there. I don't know what round. So we're just gonna get William a win because he did fight Daniel Blancas, which is no one was rushing to fight Daniel Blancas, so we took it, and we didn't. We weren't successful in that. So we'll get William a win, and we'll call out Fulcum and see if they. If these two want to meet in the ring. Hopefully, I think it would be a great, great fight for both of them.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Let my viewers know about where they can follow you or SJL on social
Yeah,
media.
right now, Instagram, SJL Fight Management. If you go ahead and type that in, that's going to go ahead and redirect you to the website. I guess that goes live at the end of this week. I'm sorry, the beginning of next week. Social media, same thing, SJL Fight Management on Facebook. So everything will have a um, full direct to guide you to where you need to contact us. All right.
Amazing, man. This was hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This was
I
dope, man.
sure did.
We got to
Worked
connect.
out.
Like I said, we got to connect offline, man. I'd love to be able to again, man, pick your brain. Love to be able to have you back. Anything that I could do, jump on here, announcements. Obviously, Vic is gonna be a regular. I
Oh
told him
yeah.
I want him back here after his next fight. He was all for it. we tapped in, man. You know, anybody that comes on the Hangout Spot is family, man. So you family now, Sam.
Man, appreciate it. I really do. Appreciate
Nah,
it.
we always gonna be in your corner. Anything that I could do, obviously, to help promote or whatever, I'm here, man. But definitely let's connect offline, man.
All right, man. I'll send you my information. All right.
You got it, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for jumping on, man. And continue, man. Continue doing what you do, man. Keep shining, man. And I wish you and Vic and all your fighters nothing but the best, man.
All right. Take care.
All
Thanks.
right. Take care,
All
Sam.
right.